Yeah, you're welcome back to TBL Couture channel. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for your comments. I thank you so much. Please, guys, I want to grow. Help my channel to grow. I beg you. Help this channel to grow, please. You can see I'm trying to drop videos from time to time for my channel to grow by subscribing, by liking, by giving your comments. This channel is going to grow. Join the family. I mean now. Click that button now. Thank you so much. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing us how to make a surplice circle dress or a wrap dress. But this is not going to be a full wrap dress from the top to the hem of the dress. This is just going to be a wrap dress at the upper part, while the lower part is a circle form and the sleeve is a gathered sleeve. This video is going to be in two folds. The first one, which is this one, is going to be the pattern drafting, and the second one will be the cutting and the sewing process. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Here I have on the table the tools I need for this dress. I have my pattern paper, my scissors, my tape rule, my markers. I have everything I need. Then I have the material itself. This is 4 yards of material. It is 4 yards. I went ahead to trace my basic bodies from the shoulder to the waistline on a paper, but I need the full front basic bodies. What I did was to trace it out, and this is how I traced out this basic body so that it can give me the full front that I want. So I took my pattern paper, I folded it into 2 equal parts. I then took the basic bodies that I'll be working with and I placed it carefully on the pattern paper right on the table. So in case you've not watched my video on how to draft the basic bodies blog, it is very essential you watch the video because this is going to help you a lot. You will know the necessary parts of the basic bodies and how to construct or draft the basic bodies blog. So I placed it carefully like so on the pattern paper, and what I did next was to take my tracing wheel and went round the edges of the basic bodies to trace out the essential parts that I need from the shoulder point to the waistline. I wouldn't be needing it to the hip line, so I did not bother to trace that part out. I just needed from my shoulder point to the waistline. What I did next was to go ahead to trace out with my marker so we can see it clearly on the pattern paper. So I traced it out with my marker. Then I noted it out that this is my full front bodies. The next thing I want to do is to eliminate one of the darts at the waist. So I went ahead to measure the width of the dart that I have, marked it at the side front, connected to the bust point. I connected it from the armhole, I connected it to the bust point, and I am done eliminating the dart. Note that you can use any of the side for your surplice. I'm using what is convenient for me. What I will do now is to mark the neck depth of the surplice that I want. I want to mark the neck depth of the surplice that I want in. So I'm marking my neck depth, which is stopping at the armhole or chest line. That is where my neck depth is going to get to. Then I will mark the neck width that I'm going to eliminate also. I went in to mark 4 centimeters. In inches, 4 centimeters is 1 point, I think 1.5 inches. Yeah. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to connect my surplice line. You can connect to your side front, you can connect to your dart, you can even go up at your side front by some inches or centimeters. But what I'm going to be doing is to connect it to my dart leg. That is what I'm going to do. I want to connect it to my dart leg, not the side front. I'm not going to go up by any centimeters or inches. I'm going to take my ruler to connect from the neck depth to the waist and from the neck width to the neck depth. So this other side is useless. I'm not going to be needing it again. So I'm just crossing it with a straight lines. And what I will do next is to find the midpoint between the slanted line I just connected from my neck point to the waist. What I will do is to take my tape rule or tape measurement, measure what I have along the line, then I'll go ahead to divide this into two by folding my tape to the length of what I measured earlier, and I'm going to place it like so on the line. I've gotten my midpoint like just quickly like so. What I will do is to take my ruler and measure out 1 centimeter. You can do 0.5 in inches, and I will use my curve ruler to curve from my neck point to my waist. I'll curve it like so to the waist, and the next thing I'll do is to cut off the other part that I won't be needing anymore. This is the part I'll be needing. I'll also cut out the excesses at the side. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark a line that is going to connect to my dart from the front part of the surplice, or the center part of the surplice, if I can say that. I'm going to connect it to my dart because I want to open that angle up in order to close my waist dart. This time around, what I'm going to do next is slash and spread method. I want excess to be at the is either front or center of my surplice. You get what I'm saying very soon. After opening it up, I took an extra pattern paper, placed my half surplice carefully or half wrapped up carefully on the pattern paper. Then I went ahead to measure 4 centimeters, that is 1.5 inches. Connect it, rule a straight or a slanted line towards the waistline side front. Then I measured another 4 centimeters. I'm going to rule another line. I'm making lines for my draping, and these lines are 4 centimeters apart. The first draping I'm doing, I went ahead to slash to open it up with my scissors, then measured the width to be 4 centimeters. I went ahead to do the same thing for the second spread, slash it open. I cut to a point, not through the pattern paper. That means I didn't cut the pattern paper completely. I stopped at a edge. That was why I said I cut to a point, not through the pattern paper. I'll go ahead to do this for the third one and the fourth one. The width of the drape is 4 centimeters, 1.5 inches. This is the width of the drape. This is the maximum of drape that I want. Then the next thing I will do is to use my tracing wheel to trace out. I would fold the draping on top one another and use my tracing wheel to trace it out for me to have that sharp curvy edge, because at the end of the day, those places I opened for the slash and spread or for the draping is going to be short if I just drew a straight line to connect from one end to the other. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to blend in my waistline from the middle front or center front this time around to the waistline. I'm going to rule like so on a straight line and blend it in, and then I'm going to cut off the excesses I have. You can see that after cutting off, when I folded it, they just match with each other. Yeah, after cutting it, they matched together. I'm done working with my front bodice. I'm not going to do anything to it again. The next thing I'll be working on is the back bodice pattern, and the only thing I'll be doing with this pattern is just to manipulate the neckline, just like the way I went in at the neck point by 4 centimeters for the front neck. I'm going to be going in also by 4 centimeters for the back neck, and the depth will be 2 centimeters. It is 0.75 inches more or less, and I'll connect it together. This is the only thing I'm going to work on the neck. Use my pattern scissors to cut off where I don't need around the neck. That is all I'm doing for this neck, and I'm going to be working on the sleeve next. This sleeve, I used it in a video which I'm yet to release. And because I know I will be needing it again for this video, I kept the pattern aside. This saves me pattern paper. So this particular sleeve that I'm going to be doing for this dress is a short sleeve, that is elbow length sleeve, and this is a long sleeve. So I already went ahead before using it for the video to mark the elbow length. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting through the lines, that is the elbow lines. That is what I'm going to be cutting through. Then the lower part of the sleeve, I'm going to be cutting out my band too. So the first thing I'll be doing is to cut off the elbow length of the sleeve. Once I'm done cutting the elbow length, I will take a new pattern paper, find the midpoint of this pattern paper, note it at the middle, at the edge, and at the bottom of the pattern paper, and I will use my ruler to connect these lines together. Once I'm done with this, the next thing I'll be doing is to go down from the edge of that pattern paper by 4 inches. 4 inches is 10 centimeters. Then I'm going to go out by 6 inches, which is 16 centimeters. Placed my right pattern sleeve along the line like so, and use my masking tape to hold it down. Right now in slash and spread for a ball sleeve, elbow length ball sleeve. Use my masking tape to hold it down. Marked 5 inches for that other side because I was short of pattern paper and I don't want to add any extra pattern paper, so I went in to mark 5 inches. Then I placed it along the curve line. I didn't place the second one to be equal to the level of the first sleeve placed on my pattern paper. I placed it the way our sleeve line is curved. I went in to just give a little room at the edge before connecting my sleeve together with my hand. Also for the lower part, I measured out 2 inches, which is 5 centimeters. I went ahead to trace out the curve lines of my sleeve. I went ahead to trace out the curve lines of my sleeve. I'm used to doing this, that is why it was easier for me. And this is what I have for my slash and spread sleeve. I'm going to be gathering the edge and the lower part of the sleeve. I labeled it to know the difference. The next thing I'm going to face is to cut out my band for the sleeve. The lower part of the sleeve is what I'm joining together with my masking tape. I'm going ahead to measure the length of the band that I want to attach to my ball sleeve. And right now I'm done cutting all the necessary parts that I'll be needing for this dress. I have the front, the sleeve, the band, I have everything. This is what the dress looks like after cutting and sewing, but this is not the finished work because I'm not yet done hemming and with the sleeve. So I just want to show us what it looks like. But in the next video, I'll be showing us the fabric preparation and the sewing process of this dress. So please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about the dress? Like. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Till next time. Bye bye.